Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive. So today we're diving headfirst into the world of side hustles. And we're dissecting this awesome podcast episode, Path to Financial Freedom. You know the one you sent us?
Oh, yeah. That one is packed with advice, actionable advice for starting and scaling a side hustle.
And it couldn't be more relevant. I mean, so many people are out there right now looking for ways to boost their income
Hmm.
or explore a new passion or just gain a bit more financial freedom.
And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. This whole idea of side hustles as a path to financial freedom.
Exactly. And, one thing that really struck me about this episode is that it goes beyond the usual, just follow your passion advice.
Right.
It really digs into the nitty-gritty of how to make a side hustle actually work, like the nuts and bolts,
Stuff.
the practical stuff, yeah. So first off, the episode highlights why we're seeing this huge surge in side hustles these days. Like, why now?
Well, it's fascinating how the pandemic really exposed that fragility of relying on a single income.
Oh, totally.
Job security, it's just not a given anymore. And side hustles offer that safety net.
Yeah.
That way to diversify your income and take control of your financial future.
That's like a plan B.
Yeah,
But a plan B that you're actually excited about, like you actually enjoy doing it.
exactly. And let's be real. Starting a side hustle is way less risky than quitting your job and going all in on entrepreneurship.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like dipping your toes in the water. You can test your idea, see if it has legs,
Yeah,
and gain experience without having to quit your day job.
I like that, dipping your toes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the big question is, how do you pick the right side hustle?
Right.
Like the one that's actually right for you.
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And this episode that we're analyzing today has some really good advice on that.
Okay, so spill the beans. What's the secret to finding that perfect match?
Well, it all starts with looking inward. What are you truly passionate about? What skills do you have that other people might actually pay for? It's not just about chasing money. It's about finding something you actually enjoy, something that will keep you going when things get tough.
That's like the difference between a hobby and a chore.
Right.
If you
Yeah.
dread working on your side hustle,
Yeah,
it's not going to be sustainable.
exactly. But choosing a side hustle, it's not just about passion. The episode also emphasizes the importance of considering the time commitment and the investment involved.
Right, because some side hustles
Yeah.
are pretty low cost to start, like tutoring or consulting. You're mostly investing your time and expertise.
Right.
But other side hustles,
Mm-hmm.
like starting an online store or
Yeah.
getting into real estate, those might require more capital up front.
Exactly. So it's all about knowing your limits
Yeah.
and your resources.
And of course, thinking about your lifestyle goals. Like, do you want a side hustle that generates passive income,
Mm-hmm.
like creating an online course or selling digital products?
Right.
Or are you looking to build a more hands-on service-based business?
It's a good point. These are all important factors to consider.
Yeah, for sure. So let's say you've done some soul searching and you've landed on that killer side hustle idea.
Hmm.
What's next?
Yeah.
How do you actually get it off the ground?
Having an idea is one thing.
Yeah.
But making it a reality is a whole other ballgame.
Right.
This is where research becomes crucial.
Yeah.
You really need to understand your market, your target audience, and who you're up against. Like, what's the competitive landscape?
So like if you're planning to freelance,
Right.
you should check out platforms like Upwork or Fiverr.
Exactly. See what others are charging. What kind of projects are they doing? This will give you valuable insights.
It's like doing your homework before you jump into the deep end.
Exactly.
And speaking of practical advice, this episode also reminds us about the power of networking, like our existing networks.
Absolutely. Don't underestimate the power of your existing network, your friends, family,
Mhm.
former colleagues. They can be your first clients, your biggest cheerleaders, and a great source of referrals.
Yeah, it's amazing how often we forget about the people
Hmm.
who are already in our corner
It's true.
once you land those first few clients,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're just starting out. Client satisfaction is key.
Oh, absolutely. Positive reviews, testimonials, they're like gold. They build credibility, trust, and they attract more customers.
Word of mouth marketing is so powerful,
It really is,
especially when you're first starting out.
for sure.
Okay, so we've got a great idea. We've done our research. We've tapped into our network. And we're treating our clients like royalty. What's next?
What's next?
Let's talk marketing. How do you actually get the word out
Yeah.
and grow your side hustle?
Well, in today's digital world, social media is a must-have.
Right?
It's an incredible platform to showcase your work, share customer stories, and engage with potential clients.
And you can even create a visual portfolio, share behind-the-scenes content,
Oh,
or run targeted ads.
Exactly. And think about platforms like Instagram, which are all about visuals
Not how.
and grabbing attention.
Oh, yeah. Instagram is a visual storytelling powerhouse.
It is.
Speaking of connecting with an audience, the podcast also talks about content marketing.
Content marketing is key.
Yeah.
If you have a website or a blog, creating valuable content that ranks well in search engines can bring in a ton of organic traffic and leads.
So it's all about creating content that people are actually searching for and making sure your website shows up in the search results.
Exactly.
And then there's paid advertising,
Yeah.
like Facebook ads or Google ads.
Right.
Those could be really effective, but you have to be strategic.
You don't want to just throw money at ads and hope for the best.
Nope.
It's
Yeah.
about starting small, targeting your audience carefully, and tracking your spending.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We talked about why side hustles are so popular right now, how to choose the right one for you, the importance of research and networking, and some key marketing strategies. But let's be real, side hustles aren't always sunshine and rainbows.
You got that right.
There are definitely challenges,
For sure.
especially if you're juggling a side hustle on top of a full-time job or other commitments. So let's talk about those hurdles and how to overcome them.
Oh, let's do it.
So we're back, and we're ready to tackle those side hustle challenges.
Yeah, because let's face it, it's not always easy. Juggling a side hustle with everything else can be tough.
Totally agree. And this episode we're talking about really highlights time management as a major challenge.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense. You're essentially adding another job to your plate.
Right.
So finding the time to work on your side hustle without sacrificing other commitments. This is super important.
It's all about balance.
It is. And this episode actually suggests treating your side hustle like an important appointment that you can't miss.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like block it out in your calendar. Make it a priority.
Exactly. Schedule dedicated time for it, whether it's a few hours after work each day or maybe a full day on the weekend.
It's about being intentional with your time.
It is. And another key aspect of time management is learning to delegate.
Oh, yeah.
As your side hustle grows,
Yeah.
you'll probably find yourself wearing too many hats.
It's like the classic entrepreneur trap.
It is.
Trying to do everything yourself
Uh-huh.
and then ending up burned out.
Exactly. And that's why this podcast recommends outsourcing tasks that aren't your core strengths or that you just don't enjoy doing.
Like what kinds of tasks?
Well, it could be anything really. Maybe it's graphic design, website maintenance,
Yeah.
or even administrative tasks.
Things that are eating up your time.
Yeah. And by freeing up your time, you can focus on what you do best.
Yeah.
The things that really move the needle for your business.
It's about working smarter.
Not harder.
Speaking of burnout, that's another challenge that comes up a lot.
Oh, for sure. You're passionate. You're putting in long hours. It's easy to get overwhelmed.
Yeah, burnout is a real risk.
It is. And this episode offers some good advice on preventing it.
Okay, like what?
Well, it emphasizes self-care and remembering your why.
Your why.
Yeah, like why did you start the side hustle in the first place? What's your motivation?
Oh, I see.
Because reconnecting with that passion can really help you push through those tough times.
It's like remembering your purpose.
Exactly.
I think it's also important to set realistic expectations.
Absolutely.
You know, don't try to do everything at once.
Right.
Start small. Build gradually. And celebrate your wins along the way.
Celebrate those wins,
Yeah.
no matter how small they may seem,
Okay.
because every step forward is a step closer to your goals.
I like that.
Yeah.
So we've talked about time management and burnout, but let's talk about pricing.
Ah,
That's
pricing.
age-old dilemma.
It's a tough one.
You don't want to undersell yourself,
Yeah.
but you also don't want to price yourself out of the market.
It's about finding that sweet spot.
Right.
And this episode has some good advice on that.
Okay, what do they say?
Well, they suggest doing your research, see what others in your industry are charging.
Right.
And then factor in your experience and your expertise. But most importantly, think about the value you provide to your clients.
The value.
Yes. You need to be able to articulate the benefits that clients will get from working with you or buying your product.
So it's not just about the hours you put in.
Right.
It's about the results you deliver.
Exactly.
So it's like positioning yourself as an investment, not just an expense.
Exactly. And the episode also mentions that you shouldn't be afraid to adjust your prices as you gain more experience and expertise.
Because your value increases over time.
Exactly.
Okay, so moving on, let's talk about building a strong online presence,
Oh, that's essential.
especially if you're offering services or products online.
Absolutely. It's about creating a professional and engaging online experience.
So it's more than just having a website.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You need to make sure that your online platforms represent your brand effectively and make it easy for potential clients to find you.
It's like your digital storefront.
Exactly.
And what about social media?
Social media is all about building relationships and showcasing your expertise.
How so?
We'll share valuable content, engage with your followers, participate in relevant conversations, and let your personality shine through.
Authenticity is key.
Yeah.
People buy from people they know, like, and trust.
Exactly.
This episode also talks about online networking.
Yes. Online networking is a great way to connect with potential clients, collaborators, and even mentors.
It's like what?
Well, joining online communities.
Yeah.
Participating in industry groups, and attending virtual events.
Makes sense. So we've covered a lot in this segment. Time management, burnout, pricing strategies, building an online presence. What else contributes to side hustle success?
Well, as your side hustle grows, you'll need to start thinking about the more logistical and legal aspects of running a business.
The legal stuff.
Yeah.
It's easy to overlook those things when you're just starting out.
It is. But it's crucial for protecting yourself and making sure your business is legitimate.
So what kind of legal stuff are we talking about?
Well, this episode emphasizes the importance of researching the legal requirements for your specific type of business and your location. They suggest consulting with an attorney or an accountant to make sure you're in compliance.
Compliance with
All the applicable laws and regulations.
like what kind of regulations?
Well, it could involve registering your business, obtaining the necessary licenses and permits, understanding your tax obligations, and making sure you have the right insurance coverage.
It sounds complicated.
It can be,
Yeah.
but it's important.
So it's like setting up a solid foundation.
Exactly.
So you can focus on growth and expansion
Right.
without worrying about legal issues down the road.
Exactly.
Okay, so legal stuff is important. But what about managing your finances?
Ah, yes, finances.
If you're not on top of your finances,
Yeah,
your side hustle can quickly turn into a headache.
true.
So what does this episode suggest?
Well, they highlight the importance of developing a system for tracking your income and expenses.
Makes sense.
You need to know where your money is coming from and where it's going.
It's like a financial roadmap.
It is. And as you start making more money, you need to make sure you're paying your taxes.
Taxes.
Yes. Estimated taxes throughout the year.
Oh, so you don't get hit with a big bill at the end of the year.
Eh.
And the episode even suggests setting aside a percentage of your income, specifically for taxes.
That's a smart strategy.
It is.
And if you're not comfortable managing your finances yourself, they recommend hiring an accountant or a bookkeeper.
To help you stay organized.
Exactly.
So in this segment, we've covered time management, burnout, pricing strategies, building an online presence, and the legal and financial aspects of running a side hustle.
It's a lot to think about.
It is, but you don't have to do everything at once.
Right.
Start with the basics
One step at a time.
and prioritize what's most important for your side hustle.
Exactly.
And don't forget to celebrate those wins along the way.
Absolutely.
Those little victories can really keep you motivated.
For sure.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into side hustles. And, in this last part, I want to shift gears a bit. We've talked a lot about the practical side of things, like strategies and tactics. But building a successful side hustle, it's about so much more than that, isn't it?
It really is. It's also about mindset, habits, and support systems.
Yeah, like the inner game of entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
The mental and emotional resilience.
It takes a lot of grit to build something from scratch.
It does. And this podcast episode we're analyzing really emphasizes the importance of having a growth mindset.
Oh, yeah. A growth mindset is crucial. It's all about seeing challenges as opportunities.
Opportunities for what?
Opportunities for learning and growth.
Not as step backs.
Exactly. Successful entrepreneurs are adaptable, they're persistent, and they're willing to experiment.
They don't let the fear of failure hold them back.
Nope, they embrace it.
You know, it's funny. When I first started freelancing, I was so afraid of making mistakes.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Like I wanted everything to be perfect right away.
It's natural to feel that way.
But as this episode points out, every mistake is a learning opportunity.
It is. You learn more from your failures than from your successes.
You win or you learn.
Exactly.
And this episode also talks about being proactive and taking ownership of your success.
Right.
Don't wait for opportunities to come knocking.
You got to create your own opportunities.
Go out there and hustle.
Exactly. Reach out to clients, pitch your ideas, collaborate with others, put yourself out there.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
And speaking of putting yourself out there, this episode also talks about the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people,
Right.
like having a strong support system,
It makes all the difference.
especially when you're juggling a side hustle with all your other commitments.
Exactly. You need people in your corner who believe in you and support your vision.
Mentors, collaborators, friends, family.
All of the above.
I think we often underestimate the power of having that support network.
It's true.
You know, those people who will cheer you on
And offer encouragement.
when you need it most.
Exactly.
I know I couldn't have gotten through those early days of freelancing without the support of my friends and family.
They were your cheerleaders.
They were.
And this episode also mentions the value of mentorship.
Oh, yeah. Mentorship is huge.
Having a mentor can provide invaluable guidance and support.
Whether it's a seasoned entrepreneur or someone in your industry who's already achieved the kind of success you're aiming for.
Mentors have been there and done that.
They can offer insights, share their experiences, and help you avoid those common pitfalls.
They can be a valuable resource.
They can. Now let's talk about work-life balance.
Ah, yes, the elusive work-life balance.
It's something a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with.
It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle, especially when you're first starting out,
You're passionate, you're excited, you want to make things happen,
and you end up working all the time.
which can lead to burnout
Exactly.
and neglecting other areas of your life.
Your health, your relationships, your well-being.
It's important to find that balance.
It is.
This episode talks about setting boundaries
Yes, boundaries are crucial
and prioritizing self-care.
from the very beginning.
Right. Set realistic expectations, schedule time for yourself, and don't feel guilty about saying no
To commitments that drain your energy.
or distract you from your
Well,
goals. It's about creating a sustainable lifestyle
that supports both your entrepreneurial ambitions.
and your overall well-being.
Right.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into side hustles, I think it's important to remember that the entrepreneurial journey, it's about more than just external success,
It's about personal growth, too.
pushing your limits, discovering your strengths, realizing your potential.
It's a journey of self-discovery.
It's not always easy,
There will be challenges along the way.
but it can be incredibly rewarding.
It can.
So what have we learned today?
Well, we've learned that building a successful side hustle is a holistic endeavor.
It requires business savvy,
Resilience,
adaptability,
self-awareness,
strong support system,
and passion.
and a belief in yourself.
So as you embark on your own side hustle journey, remember, it's about more than just making extra money.
It's about creating a life you love,
Pursuing your passions,
building something meaningful,
embracing the challenges and the rewards.
the triumphs and the setbacks, and knowing that every step you take is a step towards the future you envision.
You got this.
The world of side hustles is vast and full of possibilities. What will you create?